Yeah, copy that, BKC. Code 5 in the last.
You hear anything?
No.
Let's go in. Could still be here.
Lying dogger.
Check round the back and secure it. Get the red drive any cars out there.
But shouldn't we stay 2 up?
I need you to secure the back, Constable. That's an order.
Where is he?
Oh, he took off down here. Wait here, I'm gonna flush him out. Tell me you got the rego.
You had him cornered and he escaped?
Essentially, yes.
And he left his car at the back door?
Yes.
Did you get the rego? Look, this is the third warehouse burg in 3 months. We've got to lift our game here.
First up to the one that got away.
Too fast for you, I hear.
Yeah, something like that.
How did you go?
TVs, CD players, DVD players. He took all the good stuff.
Serial numbers?
Yeah, they're going to fax me the list once they've been through their inventory.
Something, anything else?
Yeah. They gave me this nice home movie to have a look at. Here we go. Come on, turn around.
Oh, he's got a balaclava on, mate.
Hey, fast forward a bit. Hey, hang on. That looks like a scarf his mother made him.
Yeah, something he got in Peru.
A burglar with individual style. That's what I like to see. We got it blown up and printed.
Very Rambo.
It is all we've got so far.
I don't like your chances.
Wasn't there an eyewitness for the first burg?
What? Blind Freddy the Watchman?
All right, his description wasn't that useful.
Useless.
But he might remember something like that.
Well, it does stand out. In the meantime,
Yeah, get onto the usual fences. Consider it done.
good band.
Man Thomas 900, go ahead.
Yours is an industrial accident at 16 Golden Street, Ambrose, and WorkSafe investigators.
Take Joe.
He's dead.
You are?
My name's Dennis Kados. I'm the site foreman here.
What's his name?
His name's Terry Beck. Well, he's got a wife, you know, and a couple of kids. What the bloody hell are they going to do?
Did you see the accident, Mr. Kados?
Well, I just heard him yell, you know. We were working on the same level, and I looked up and he was falling backwards through the safety rail. Just gave way. Oh, bloody lock could have come down.
Why don't you sit down while we wait, huh? Jesus. Did you know him well?
He's my best mate.
You work here too?
Huh?
What's your name?
Nipper, the apprentice.
Come here, Glenn. Nipper. What's your real name?
Craig, bro.
Craig, did you see what happened here?
No, I wasn't even here. I was down at the pub getting the pies. Terry ordered 3. How about we,
Ben Stewart, Mount Thomas Police.
Catherine Wallace, what have we got?
1 collapsed scaffold, 1 dead body, 1 grieving witness, and 1 sick kid.
Oh, welcome to my world. I'll start with the body first, if that's all right.
It's fine by me.
He landed on his back.
We're assuming that he leaned back against the safety rail and gave way.
I want shots from all angles, please.
Leave you to it. Death notice to be delivered.
There's a wife.
And kids. Welcome to my world. Constable will need to get Mr. Beck's address.
Nipper, why don't you grab your gear and go home, mate? I'll show you.
That won't be necessary.
Well, it's just that I'd like to be there when she's told.
Of course.
Dead?
It's an accident, love. God damn it.
We're very sorry for your loss.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no.
I know, love, I know. It's all right. It's all right. He was a bloody good man, you know. Come on, come on.
Mrs. Beck, if we can be of any help, please don't hesitate to give us a call.
An accident? What happened? Was it?
It was very quick.
Oh.
You know, he just leant against the safety rail and it gave way.
Well, safety rails aren't supposed to give way.
No, I know they're not, but, you know, the scaffolding was old as the bloody ark.
Oh,
You saying that the scaffolding was faulty?
Yeah, well, it didn't save my mate, did it?
The WorkSafe people will do a very thorough investigation. If there's any evidence of negligence, they will find it.
someone better explain to me, please, how my husband's ended up dead.
All right. Come on, love. It's all right now. Come on.
Oh, God.
It's too early to talk about negligence.
But it is old scaffolding.
It's seen better days.
What, could it have just snapped?
Oh, metal snapping is pretty unlikely. Could have been a problem with the way it was put together.
What makes you say that?
Let's just say this particular contractor has a history of slap-happy cost saving.
Oh, look who it is.
Constable Parrish. This is a WorkSafe matter, isn't it?
Les Anderson.
What are we going to do about Jones? I don't want a repetition of last time.
Oh, Jones and Anderson are not a good combination.
What do you expect? The guy killed his dad with a nail gun.
Whatever we think of Anderson, the official line is still that his father committed suicide.
Because he's a gambler, but we all know that's crap. I mean, Jonesy proved it was Anderson who had the
that's
gambling
enough.
problem.
We know all that. I understand Jones's position.
Then why aren't we going
And if
after
he can
Anderson?
find any solid evidence that implicates Les Anderson, I'll be right behind him.
The point is, boss, it might be better if Jones didn't hear this information.
You want us to lie to him?
Not lie to him, no, but maybe don't tell him the full story until these allegations have been checked out.
Tess, he is a grown-up. He's almost as old as you are.
He's irrational when it comes to Les Anderson.
Yes, because he believes that Anderson killed his father.
A workman dying on one of Anderson's building sites is not going to prove anything about Jones's father.
Agreed. I mean, this is just about some guy falling off scaffolding, isn't it?
I'll ask a few questions, but we've got to keep him out of the picture.
What am I supposed to do again?
Keep him busy on the Berg.
I can do that.
Oh, sorry, Sarge.
Ah, Jones, we're just talking about the...
Berg. You guys off?
Burglars to catch, my friend.
Jonesy, can you give us a hand? I've just got to lift this thing.
Yeah.
You know what, me? Joanna, I am deeply offended.
PJ, can you blame her? Let's see the car.
All right, Schwarzenegger.
All right, so where's the anvil?
Les Anderson's running the site where the guy was killed this morning.
Les Anderson?
They don't want you to know. They don't think you can handle it.
Really?
Yeah, well, you can't tell anyone you know. It'll come back to me. I'll be your eyes and ears, all right? I just thought you should know.
Okay. Thanks, mate.
Dennis, you suggested that the scaffolding was faulty. Do you have any proof of that?
Well, you know, I couldn't believe it when Les had it delivered to the site. I mean, I even said to him, what do you think this junk's for, you know?
And what did he say?
Well, he said it was a bargain. And, well, that was a lot stronger than it looked.
Was it?
What do you reckon? Well, you saw what happened to Terry when he leaned on it, didn't you?
Did anyone regularly check this scaffolding?
Oh, I probably should have, you know, but there's never any time. We're always short-handed.
Well, why is that?
Good old Les. Yeah, he never liked to spend any more than he had to.
I never compromise the safety of my workers.
Not even to save money?
No, of course not. What do you think I am? Terry's death was hard on all of us, including me.
Yeah, well, his wife certainly took it pretty hard.
Well, she would. He was a good bloke and a good worker.
So in your opinion, this scaffolding was perfectly safe?
Not just my opinion. I got the paperwork. I got the hazard ID report, the accident assessment report. That woman from WorkSafe's got it all, if you need a copy.
So how do you explain Terry Beck falling through the safety rail to his death?
Well, I don't like to speak ill of the dead.
Go on.
Terry liked to drop, you know what I mean? And I suppose he woke up with one hell of a hangover and forgot where he was and stepped back without thinking.
Oh, right through your perfectly safe scaffolding, eh?
Looks like it.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Anderson.
Glad to be of help.
Just one more thing before
Hang
we
about.
go.
We need to check out Benny Danders.
But he's second-hand stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I still think we need to check him out. Come on.
Get out of my way.
So you all decided to keep this from me, did
For
you?
your own sake. We didn't want any more trouble.
For my sake? You're making me feel like a child.
Yeah, well, you're acting like a child. Last time you were in the same room as Anderson, you had your hands around his throat.
All right, so what's he done now? Killed someone else?
It was an accident that just happened to be on one of Anderson's building sites. WorkSafe is looking after
So
it.
someone is dead?
There's no reason to suspect Anderson of anything other than failing to provide a safe work environment.
Well, then why this whole play-acting thing? Do you think I'm so obsessed with Les Anderson that I can't be trusted to do my work?
I don't know. You tell me.
We're looking out for you, that's all.
That bastard killed my father and got away with it.
Firstly, don't you talk to her that way. She's your sergeant. And secondly, we're on your side, Evan. But as far as we know, this one could be an accident.
Sorry. PJ, Tess, boss wants to see you in his office.
Ah, Ms. Wallace here is from WorkSafe. She has some information I thought you might like to hear.
We've completed stage 1 into our investigation into the workplace accident.
All right. Negligence?
Well, we found no evidence of that. The scaffolding is old, but it's solid. They've been working on it quite safely for the last 2 weeks.
So what did happen?
Well, the safety rail is normally held together by a series of clamps tightened by a screwing device. A couple of these clamps are missing.
So it was tampered with.
Well, I don't see any other way to look at it.
We could be looking at a homicide.
If this does turn out to be a homicide investigation, Jones will find it impossible to keep out of it.
If it is a homicide, is there any suggestion that Les Anderson's responsible?
No, but that didn't stop Jones last time. He has trouble keeping his emotions out of his work.
So we keep tiptoeing around him like it's some kid's party game?
No, we don't. I'm sorry, Sergeant, but I have to overrule you on this one. PJ's right. Jones has to pull his weight as a member of this team, so he will be kept informed of developments the same as the others.
Okay, boss.
So we're now looking at a possible homicide.
Anderson strikes again.
We've no reason to suspect Les Anderson.
Well, it doesn't seem likely, does it, that he'd risk a negligence suit by sabotaging his own work site?
No, it doesn't.
Besides, nail guns are more his style.
That comment is not appropriate.
Oh, look, I'm fine, boss. I'll just get on with the warehouse, Bert.
Good.
Not letting Anderson off the hook, are you?
It's probably best if I stay well away from it.
Yes, so let's just get on with it, eh?
I've spoken homicide. They want us to get the ball rolling.
Right, so everybody's happy then?
Anderson had the means. He knew how the clamps worked, but not the opportunity.
Because he couldn't be sure who'd be working the end of the scaffolding that morning.
So Dennis is our most likely suspect. Real tea, anyone? Ah,
Please.
thanks, Mum.
Dennis doesn't have a motive. And it sounds as though he's practically part of the family.
Well, it certainly seemed like he knew Mrs. Beck very well. When we delivered the death message, she was in his arms in a shot.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah, except she seemed pretty relaxed there.
That's motive.
Oh, come on, guys. She'd just been told that her husband was dead.
Well, if those two are on together, somebody will know. Oh, come on, Chrissy, ear to the ground.
I'm not a gossip.
Responsible citizen, a student of human nature.
I don't really know this.
Do you know Dennis Kados?
He comes in here occasionally.
Has he got any women friends?
Not really, but he's an attractive man.
Have you ever seen into the Becks?
They sometimes have dinner together.
Oh, just a man, his wife, and his best friend.
You're such a cynic, PJ.
What are you doing?
I'm calling my friend Crystal. She runs the Golden Poplars Motel.
So they were having an affair.
I don't think they were catching up on lost sleep.
Gives him a motive for murder, boss.
It's still very circumstantial.
Oh, it's still worth checking out.
Look, if they wanted to be together, why didn't they just run away or get a divorce? All that. Dennis didn't have to kill him.
Maybe Terry found out.
If there was that sort of bad blood, surely the other workers would know about it.
It's a nipper. How long did you work with Terry and Dennis? A couple of weeks? Couple of months? All right, couple of months. How'd you get along with them?
Okay.
Well, they didn't send you down the shop to get left-handed hammers?
Huh?
How'd they get on with each other?
Okay.
You said you were away on the pie run at the time of the accident.
Yeah, that's right.
What did you see when you got back?
Well, he was lying there. Terry. And Dennis was just climbing off the scaffold.
Dennis and Terry, they were good mates, weren't they?
Yeah?
You ever seen them arguing?
No.
Mr. Kados. Thought you might be here.
Oh, yeah? What are you after?
I'd just like to have a word with you, if you don't mind.
Well, I told your people everything I knew this morning.
What's happening?
Mrs. Peck, we've had a preliminary report from our WorkSafe investigator.
Yes?
And it seems that Terry's death was not an accident.
Well, if it wasn't an accident...
We're eliminating suspects in a possible homicide investigation.
Den?
I'll be all right, love. Be all right.
I didn't kill him.
Well, someone removed the clamps off that safety rail, Mr. Kados.
Yeah, but Terry was my best mate. Why would I want to do that?
Perhaps because you're having an affair with his wife? Didn't you book into the Golden Poplars Motel together a couple of weeks ago?
Do you deny that?
I don't have to answer it, do I? It's none of your business.
We think someone killed Terry Beck, sir, so if you're having
I
an affair
didn't
with
kill him.
Mrs. Are you and Penny Beck having an affair?
I knew Penny a long time before I knew Terry. Long time ago. I fell in love with her the minute I met her.
Fine. But are you and Penny Beck having an affair?
I went away for a while, you know, work. When I came back, she and Terry had hooked up. Oh, she didn't know I was coming back. It's just bad timing.
What about now?
Oh, yeah. We're all mates. We're mates.
What about the Golden Poplars?
Oh, silly. Oh, you know, neither of us could go through with it. We both loved Terry too much. Like I said, it was just bad timing.
So, Mr. Best Friend is in all sorts of bother, eh?
Has he made any admissions?
Nah, but if we keep the pressure up... just filling Jones in the latest.
Yeah, Dennis's story is pretty sad.
Oh, you know what, Sergeant? You are such a closet romantic.
Just because I'm not a cynic like you.
I'm a detective and I'm a realist, and both those things tell me that this Dennis guy wants to upend his best mate's wife. That is a classic motive for murder.
And the fact that they both work on Les Anderson's building site. That's just
Heaven.
Look, sorry, yeah. I forgot I'm not involved in this one.
Jonesy, ready.
All right, cheers, PJ.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You've been very cool about the whole Les Anderson thing. Not turning into a real copper on us, are you?
If keeping my distance can help us get him.
Yeah, but even if we charge Anderson with the murder of Terry Beck, I mean, it still won't prove he killed your dad.
No, but it puts all sorts of pressure on them to reopen the case. Look, sorry, Joe, but there's something that I need to do.
Yes?
G'day, Constable Evan Jones.
What's happened?
Nothing. I'm off duty.
Well, what's this about?
I was wondering if I could talk to you about industrial accidents.
Okay, people, any progress on the electrical warehouse berg? PJ?
We finally got a list of serial numbers from the manager. Jones is distributing them as we speak.
Anything else?
Well, the other outstanding matter is, of course, the Terry Beck death.
What's the latest?
Well, we do a suspect with means, motive and opportunity.
But we're still looking for some hard evidence.
Excuse me?
Mrs. Beck?
I'd like to speak to the detective.
Please, take a seat. So, what can we do for you?
Well, I've been going over it and over it in my mind. You know, who would want to hurt Terry? And then I remembered that the night before the accident, Terry had this huge fight with this fellow that he'd been working with.
Which fellow?
Terry's boss. His name's Les Anderson.
What about?
Terry had been stealing electrical goods for Les. Oh, he had the contacts to sell them or something. I really don't know all the details.
Did Terry do over the Cobden Street warehouse that night?
Oh, well, he just got home from some job. I don't know where. And Les turned up for a report, I guess. And Terry said that he'd almost got caught. And that was getting too dangerous. And that he didn't want to risk it again.
And how did Les react?
Well, he was furious. And that's when he threatened Terry. He said that he was a dangerous man to cross and that Terry should keep that in mind.
And Mrs. Beck is prepared to make a statement about this association?
She is.
Well, we may have something to proceed with then.
So who's in the hot seat?
Les Anderson.
Oh.
Yeah, we think he could be the brains behind these warehouse burgs.
Which were committed by Terry Beck.
So does that mean my case is closed?
Well, we've got to find the loot first.
Tell him the rest.
Thank you, Parrish. We have a witness who says Les Anderson had a falling out with Terry Beck the night before he died.
And that Les threatened him.
So Les Anderson is now a suspect?
He is.
I don't suppose there's any chance of me working on the case, boss.
What do you think, Constable?
No harm in asking.
We need someone to search the Beck house and look for the stolen goods.
Ben, can you take Joe?
Sure thing.
Well, you and I...
We'll interview Anderson.
No, I was not involved in stealing electrical goods or anything else with Terry Beck.
Really?
Yeah, really. But it doesn't surprise me, though, to find out that he was up to no good.
Why is that?
Because I knew he'd done time in New South when I took him on. And he said he'd gone straight now that he was a family man.
You knew he had prize?
Yeah. I'm too trusting, that's my trouble.
Where were you 2 nights ago between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m., Mr. Anderson?
Monday night, St David's Trots all night. And you can check with any bookie there.
Got an alibi to check. Have we got that list of... Oh, where's Joe?
She's still off searching the Beck house, but I could do it.
I don't think so.
Come on, Sarge, this is ridiculous. I mean, what am I going to do, fit him up or something?
We agreed that you wouldn't be actively involved in this case. If he's guilty, we'll get him.
If he's guilty... Look, do you want to know about the leap search on Terry?
Yes, I do, please.
Okay, he's got 2 prior convictions for burgs in New South Wales.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Do you find anything?
No electrical goods. He must have got rid of all that stuff last night.
Yeah, probably gave him to his accomplice.
Well, we did find this.
Ah, it looks like Terry was our stylish burglar.
So now all we have to do is nail the accomplice.
Got a couple of jobs for you, Joe. Anderson reckons he was at St David's Trots on Monday night.
Oh, I've got a list of bookies here.
Look, are you going to search Anderson's place or not?
Yes, Evan, we are.
Did you look behind the linen cupboard?
Thank you.
Don't forget the space in the garage roof.
Could do with a clean.
It's a mystery, isn't it? I don't seem to have this stolen gear.
Not on these premises.
Has it ever occurred to you that I might be telling you the truth?
Oh, there's always that possibility.
Or I might be being set up?
You're feeling paranoid?
Dennis Katos is the bloke you should be talking to. You know, Terry's best mate? That's who I'd trust if I was going to do a burglary. My best mate, not my boss.
Maybe. Doesn't mean we won't be checking your work sites, though. Well, lucky we got Les Anderson to point us in the right direction.
Katos would have been next on my list anyway. If Terry is our burglar, his best mate has got to be worth a look.
After you.
G'day.
Sorry, we're obviously blocking you in.
No, you're right. It's okay.
Going somewhere in a hurry?
Well, I'm back at work tomorrow, you know. I'm just trying to get organised.
So that will explain the full load?
Yeah, it's right.
Oh, thanks, Liz. Are you thinking about going into the electrical business, Mr. Katos? You're gonna have to do better than that, Dennis. Nobody needs 3 DVD players.
We know it was Terry who knocked off the Cobden Street warehouse that
I
night.
was just minding the gear for Terry.
Go on.
Well, I knew that he'd pinched it, silly bugger. But I also knew that if you found it at his place, then he'd do time again, wouldn't he? You know, and then Penny and the kids would be hit hard.
So you offered to store the stuff at your place?
Yeah, that's right. But then I'd heard that you'd searched Penny's joint, and I just figured I'd be next. I wasn't quite quick enough, was I?
I've been accused of having a suspicious mind, Dennis, and you know what my mind tells me? That you and Terry were in the thefts together, that you got rid of him because you wanted all the proceeds for yourself, not to mention his missus.
No. Now, look, I can understand how it might look like that to you, but it's not true, all right? I mean, I only found out he was knocking this stuff off again last week. You know, and I was dirty on him, I really was.
So you had words with him?
Yeah, I did. Worked the other day. Frightened the bloody hell out of Nipper.
Did Terry tell you if he was working with anyone else on these jobs?
Well, I knew somebody had to be fencing the gear for him, but he didn't say who, no.
He's either the best actor in the world or he's some poor fool caught up in other people's problems.
Well, Anderson is too clever.
Look, he's got to be covering something.
Well, even if Anderson did have motive to kill Terry, why would he choose such a roundabout method?
Couldn't find a nail gun?
Not funny, PJ.
You probably don't want to hear this.
Try us.
2 bookies confirm that Les Anderson lost money to them in person during the last 3 races at St David's Trots.
You're right. We don't want to hear that.
So he couldn't have been fighting with Terry.
So, Penny Beck lied to us.
Don't ask.
Come on, Sarge, what's the story?
Anderson has an alibi for the time he was meant to be threatening Terry.
Wouldn't you believe him?
Well, it checks out. It's watertight.
But what about his part in the warehouse burns?
Not proven. Kados is the one holding the loot, not Anderson, which is why we're still holding Kados.
But
in fact, why don't you go and relieve Ben in the interview room?
Don't fob me off.
I'll give you an order if I see fit to do so.
Look, this is ridiculous. I mean, you had a witness tell you that Les was hiring Terry to steal for
The
him.
witness lied about the threats, Constable. Why would we believe them about Anderson's involvement?
Because Les is a crook and a killer, you know
Beck's
that.
death could have been an accident.
All right. An accident with scaffolding, an accident with a nail gun. How many more accidents have to
except
happen?
that sometimes accidents do happen and move on.
You know that's crap.
And that is exactly why I wanted to keep you out of this.
So you're back to Dennis Katos.
It's not looking good for him. He's admitted to being involved with the wife, and she lies to implicate Les Anderson.
So they're in it together.
It fits. They're in love. They want to go away together. They discover that Terry has stolen 20 grand worth of electrical goods. Dennis pushes him over the scaffolding and claims it was an accident.
And takes possession of the stolen goods, hoping to sell them for going away money. Did Beck have life insurance?
No.
So they've just got the proceeds from the stolen goods.
You're not happy?
No, look, it all fits in theory, but, I mean, why would they decide to do this all now?
Perhaps you'd better ask him again.
It's a good bloke who helps his mates out by hiding his stolen goods.
Yeah, all mates are mates.
So you knew about the whole thing?
Look, all I did was hide the gear for him.
Who was he stealing it for?
I don't know.
He must have told you.
No, he didn't.
Constable.
Come on, Dennis.
Constable Jones.
He's holding out on us.
I am not.
You know, don't you,
I'd like a
Dennis?
word outside, thanks, Constable.
Les Anderson has got to be involved.
This is not the way to find out.
Look, we've got to lean on Katos. He
If there's
knows.
any leaning to be done, I will do it. Is that understood?
Yes, Sarge.
We don't know about Anderson's involvement in all this.
Penny Beck said that he was involved.
She lied.
About the fighting, yes, but maybe not about the
Hang
involvement.
on. How do you know Penny was our witness?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? I mean, once she found out about the thefts, Terry must have told her.
Find some hard evidence to link Anderson to these thefts and get back to me.
Well, that's all I'm trying to do.
But stay away from Dennis Katos and Penny Begg, who are now both suspects in a homicide investigation.
Well, Penny as well.
Penny as well.
Why did you say Les was at your house threatening Terry?
Sorry.
Take your time.
I lied about the fight and the threats.
So Anderson wasn't at your house that night?
No.
Did you lie about his involvement in your husband's criminal activities?
No, I'm sure he was involved.
Do you have any proof of that?
Terry told me.
That's impossible to verify at this stage.
Oh, you don't believe me?
He just admitted to lying to us.
So, why did you lie?
Well, because Anderson deserved it. You know, my husband wasn't the first person to die accidentally on one of his sites.
How do you know that?
Oh, I just know.
Are you sure you haven't lied to protect Dennis?
No.
You love us, aren't you?
No, you don't understand. You see, we both loved Terry.
And that's why you slept with Dennis?
No, that's why I didn't sleep with Dennis.
Well, what did she say?
You want a transcript?
Well, did she explain why she lied?
She's like the rest of us. She reckons Les Anderson deserves blame for everything. Only she's allowed to think that. We're not.
Even if Dennis did do it, it is impossible to prove.
Even if. You still don't buy it?
I'm just sticking to the facts.
All circumstantial.
We haven't got enough to charge him.
Or her.
An eyewitness would be nice.
Pity Nipper got back from his pyrone too late.
Well, if he got back late.
He was one very nervous witness.
Where'd he get the pies from?
Pub, I think, Benzie.
Excellent.
Joanna, job for you.
You know what? It's lunchtime,
Thanks a lot.
and we've got a very delicate assignment for you.
Yeah?
I've come for the pies.
G'day, Nipper. I've got them ready for you. 4 pies. Oh, dear, they're the sandwiches.
They only like pies.
I'm sorry, I must have got the orders mixed. Joe over there's got yours.
Excuse me?
Oh, hi.
I think you've got our pies.
Oh, yeah, I thought they seemed a bit warm for singers. Why do they always give the lunch run to the juniors, eh?
So they can.
That'd be right. Bottom of the heap.
Yeah, always picked them.
There are some things juniors shouldn't have to put up with, you know. Like being picked on or laughed at or having to keep quiet about stuff that happens.
Look, I've got to get back.
You're scared someone will yell at you or you'll lose your job.
You won't know anything about it.
How about you tell me? Look, I'm not trying to get at you, Craig. I just want to help. Is anyone looking out for you at work?
Yes. I want to look out for you and your mates aren't your mates anymore.
No mates, eh? Well, I know coppers aren't everyone's idea of mates, but like I said, we would like to help. Do you want someone to talk to, Craig?
I don't know. Maybe.
Terry was your mate?
He was the only one that didn't pick on me.
And Dennis? Was Dennis your mate?
I don't want to talk about Dennis.
But he was Terry's mate, though, wasn't he? I thought they were best mates.
Not anymore.
You saw what happened to Terry, didn't you? It's okay.
It's not okay.
Tell me about Dennis, Craig.
He pushed Terry up over the edge. They weren't even fighting. We're mates. Mates.
Thanks, Craig. Gutsy call.
So what did Nipper say?
Dennis is our man.
Joan, listen to me. Dennis and Penny didn't kill Terry. They couldn't have.
Then how come Nipper saw Dennis push Terry off the scaffold?
They were his exact words.
He said he came round the corner, saw them on the scaffolding together. Dennis had his arms around Terry, then suddenly he let go and pushed him.
Were they fighting?
No.
Well, what was Terry doing?
Well, he didn't say.
He wasn't trying to save himself. I mean, why would you not try and save yourself? Because you couldn't.
Maybe he was knocked out, unconscious.
Yeah, maybe. We need to have a look at that warehouse security video again.
So, what are we looking for?
You'll see. There's a second security camera. This is what I thought. Better go and make a call.
Dennis, our eyewitness, saw you push him.
I didn't kill him.
You keep saying that, but how do you explain pushing him off?
Excuse me, Sergeant Gallagher.
Interview suspended at 15:30 hours. Constable Jones has entered the room. Yes, Constable Jones.
I can prove it wasn't homicide.
See? This is what I've been trying to tell you.
Let's discuss this outside, shall we? I will not have you interrupting interviews like this.
But I know what
First
happened.
up, are you threatening this guy, and then you hijacking
I
his
know
interview?
what happened.
Is that because you're involved in this?
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is not about Les Anderson.
Then what is it about?
Terry Beck didn't die as a result of the fall. I've just spoken to the coroner's office. He had a massive heart attack that would have killed him instantly. Terry was dead before he even fell.
Did you know he'd had a heart attack?
Well, I heard him yell. It wasn't because he'd fallen. I looked around and he was clutching his chest. His face was all screwed up, you know. Then suddenly he just fell at my feet.
What did you do?
Well, I looked in his eyes. I knew he was dead. I kept thinking that somebody had come. Nobody did. And I realised that, well, I was the only one who knew how he died, yeah. Started thinking about Penny, his kids.
And his lack of insurance.
Bastards had never passed him because of his ticker. I just thought...
You thought Anderson could afford the negligence suit, so you removed the clamps.
Doesn't give a toss about any of his workers. Oh, bloody plate's a death trap. I've never seen any new equipment there ever. Never.
So you unscrewed the clamps, picked up your dead mate and pushed him through the safety rail.
I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
Good work, Constable.
Thanks.
We would have got the information eventually.
Yeah, after Dennis had been charged with murder.
You should go and tell Penny.
Yeah, good idea.
You want to come?
No, I want to get this done before I go home.
Come on. It'll do you good to get out of the house. Sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Beck.
Hello, Sergeant. Come in. Hello, Evan.
So the finding will be death by natural causes.
So, Dennis is out of trouble then?
No, it's not that simple, I'm afraid. Dennis will be charged with a number of offences.
I see.
I understand he was trying to get money for you and the kids, but falsifying things isn't really the way to go about it.
He's a good man.
Were you aware of what he'd done?
No.
Then why did you lie to us about the argument between Les Anderson and your husband?
Because I blamed that bastard for my husband's death. And, you know, I thought he was going to get away with it.
Did you make the decision to lie to us on your own?
Dennis knew nothing about it.
No one else?
No.
You've met her before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
You came here.
Off duty. I thought we had something in common.
But you don't, do you? Les Anderson didn't kill her husband. But you told her that you thought he did.
I told her about my father.
You idiot! If Anderson had been guilty, do you have any idea what your little visit would have done to our case?
I thought she should know what kind of man she was dealing with.
Nothing further than that?
I didn't tell her to lie, if that's what you're asking.
If I ever discover that you've colluded with Penny Beck, I'll have you out of the force before you can blink.
Look, I didn't do that.
I don't know what to believe from you anymore.
Look, Sarge, I'm levelling with you. I didn't put her up to anything. Believe me.
Don't know whether I can.